Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today I'm going to talk about COBOL and the modern mainframe movement. And this is another recording of this webcast or this webinar because the previous one has a technical difficulty. And so we are going to do it again. And so thank you for listening. I hope you are doing well. I hope everything is okay with you and you are safe. And thank you for taking the time to listen to this topic, and I hope that you will enjoy it. So today I'm going to talk about COBOL and the modern mainframe movement. My name is Jessielaine Punongbayan, and before we start, I wanted to talk about our abstract so that we can be in sync on what we are going to expect during this seminar or this webinar. So in here, in this session, I will talk about my first-hand experiences and insights as a mainframe developer, and I will include how everyone is empowered to innovate and invent different mainframe solutions, and then enjoy those benefits and those innovations. Or I will show this. I will create a demo for that one. And I just wanted to point out that there are a wide variety of technologies available out there that focuses on mainframe. And the technologies that I will talk about in this webinar are based on my experiences and opinions alone. So our agenda for today is about first I will talk about my career history, first as a mainframe developer, as a system operations, and then after that as a modern mainframe developer. And then the next one I will talk about as to why COBOL, what is COBOL, why should you care or I care about it, and then the connection of COBOL and the COVID-19 pandemic. And then we're going to talk about what is the modern mainframe experience. So to start off, my career history, I started off as a programmer trainee. So straight off out of college, I joined a trainee program in a local bank in the Philippines. And there I learned about COBOL programming and the mainframe technologies that surrounds that language. So they after that training they hired me as a mainframe application developer. And this is a banking industry. And here I learned about COBOL, I learned about Kix, GCell, and at that time it uses OS 390. And this is my first exposure in how banking industry works from online Kix transaction to batch processing and back to this next day transaction. I was also an on-call support. So that was a good experience. And then I also experienced this disaster recovery. So I learned basically how bank works to their day-to-day activities, to their disaster recovery, and how what do developers do whenever there's this on-call support. And I was able to interact with other um, jobs as well, like other teams, like the system operations, the cards people, the front end and stuff. So it's a great first, like it's a great experience for me as a new developer or as a new grad. After that, I transferred. I became an expat, and I transferred to Singapore. And this is my team in Singapore, and I'm there as a COBOL consultant. And this experience gave me a new perspective because this is my first time to be exposed in a European way of bank processing. It's kind of different with what we have in the Philippines. And here I was exposed with DB2, I was exposed with MQ, with ZOS, first time with ZOS, and here I was also introduced with web services for viewing batch schedules and couple programs using web apps. And it made me like think like wow, there's more to mainframe. It's not just terminals, it also has web views, and it's very interesting for me this experience. And then after some time, I decided to go back to the Philippines and became a mainframe application developer one more time. And this is my team, and I'm part of the migration project or the conversion of a local bank in the Philippines. And this gave me a new perspective as well because in here we started off from the beginning, like the installation of fixed transaction, how you're gonna develop it or plan it. You're talking to customers, what are their expectation. You're creating BRDs or like this requirements that they have, and you're listening to them. So this is my first vendor experience, and it was so interesting for me because now I'm not just a developer, but I'm also connecting to the customers and hearing out what they need and what they want and how do they do their processing and bank processing and stuff. And so it was very, very interesting. And then I decided one day that I wanted to try out a different job, or I wanted to go to system development because I wanted to expand my knowledge in mainframe. And I thought, I know about application development and now I want to try system developments. And so I applied in Czech Republic, and I was hired as a system operations in Brno at that time. And in here, I was exposed with TWS batch scheduler. I was firing commands in Jest2 and Jest3 systems, and being a system operations gave me a different perspective around mainframe. It made me know more about the system. It made me appreciate how the system is configured and how you are supporting it like every day, like 24 by 7 support during the night, how IPL works. And it's very cool. It's very interesting as to the range of knowledge that I acquired from being an application developer to a system operation. And it really got me thinking that, wow, what's more out there for mainframe? Like, what more can I learn about mainframe? And so I missed being an application developer, and I decided to apply once more as an application developer. And I was hired in Broadcom in Prague as an R&D engineer. And this one, this job, well, what my current job is blew my mind because now I'm interacting with modern mainframe interfaces. And I saw ZSMF, which is a which we are creating XML files for provisioning products. We're using Zowe that provides modern interfaces, and in here I learned about TypeScript, I learned about Angular, I learned about Python. So my knowledge about mainframe from application to systems got even wider because there is an integration or a cross-platform integration with modern mainframe interfaces, and it's like, whoa, there's more to mainframe. And what more can I do with mainframe? And those are the thoughts that I have. And from working for Zoe, working for Say Technologies here in Broadcom, I became a conference speaker. I have gained more that experience in talking to people, in promoting the product, and I'm now the lead for the Zoe mobile application. So that's it for my career history, and I wanna jump onto to this question. So, why did I choose COBOL? Let's start off with the question. What is COBOL? So, COBOL is also known as the Common Business Oriented Language. And it is a compiled English like computer programming language designed for business use. And I want to emphasize that word, business use. It is primarily used for businesses, finances like banks, administrative systems for companies and governments. So basically, COBOL is responsible for your day-to-day operation. It's the day-to-day operations of the world's economy. So COBOL is that important. And it continues to distinguish itself from other programming languages due to its inherent ability to handle vast amounts of critical data stored in large servers such as IBM servers. So what does it mean? Like what vast amounts of critical data? So why should you care about COBOL? So when you create, when you go to your ATM, you withdraw your money and you got your money, you communicate with COBOL. When you buy something in the internet, I don't know, you bought a new phone, you put your credit card number, that is communicating with COBOL. If you go to a bank, you have this um, over the counter transaction, like if you want to put your money into bank or you want to do another withdrawal, that is communicating with COBOL. If you apply for loans, if you um, apply for an insurance, you claim for an insurance, that is communicating with COBOL. So COBOL is everywhere and you don't know it, but you are using COBOL every single day. And these are vast amount of transactions that COBOL is handling every single day. So knowing that one, there is this um, resurgence of COBOL because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So recently, the New Jersey governor announces that they need COBOL developers to fix their system, to fix their unemployment claims. So that's why COBOL became very famous. And because of this news, it got me like it piqued my interest. And what I actually noticed this one is this word like half century old computer language. So for me, why is the word half century old computer important? Why do you need to mention that one? And I realized that there's a lot of fear surrounding mainframe, mainly because it is old, you know. And through this fear of the unknown, mainframe acquired a bad reputation, and developers today are avoiding this one, this language, this beautiful language, you know. But to tell you the truth, mainframe has changed a lot. If I'm gonna change it, it doesn't look like this, but it looks like this now. So it has evolved from that old picture into this modern one. And so thinking this one, mainframe, the half century old tools that they are using before are also evolved. It has already became modern, and we will talk about that later. So additional information regarding this resurgence of COBOL in COVID-19. There is a good result for that. Open Mainframe project created a COBOL programming course for those who are interested in learning COBOL. So there's this high interest in learning the language, and so Open Mainframe provided a way for that. And IBM also provided a system wherein you can practice coding using using 3270, which is the old way of doing it, and also modern mainframe tooling. So this course attracted different levels of developer, whether you're a retiree, whether a new grad, or an experienced COBOL developer itself. You are part of this community. They are part of this community. And for me, I help by creating real life, let's call it real life challenges, which is one, I created this COBOL challenge called COVID-19 reports, and the other one is the unemployment claims. And today in this community, as you can see here, we are a growing community and they are trying out the course and then after that they're trying out the challenges. So I really like this one because this course gave you a glimpse and introduced you to modern mainframe tools and thus having this modern mainframe experience. So let's talk about that. What is a modern mainframe experience? So for me, if I'm going to define it, modern mainframe experience simply means allowing modern technologies to communicate with mainframe. You know, creating modern application and making it one with mainframe. And Open Mainframe project has one goal, and the goal for this one is to make mainframe open. It's making mainframe toolsets available for the community to try out, opening up mainframe to everyone. And this hosts a lots of project, and one of the project in particular that I am working on right now and I'm particularly interested is called the Zowe project. So let's zoom on that and let's try to define what is a modern mainframer. So for example, modern mainframer, so in this picture you can see me, and as a modern mainframer, what I'm going to do or how am I going to describe a modern mainframer is that she uses different modern tools like Python, Jenkins, I don't know, Gulp, Mocha for testing, Visual Studio Code as an editor. She uses SonarCube for her static analysis. She has GitHub Enterprise for versioning, and then she's been using IBM Cloud or AWS CLIs for her databases, and as well as she's using Zowe. as a bridge, or maybe we should call it as a modern mainframe bridge to connect to mainframe to do stuff in mainframe. But how is she doing that? What is Zoe providing for her to be able to do that? So this is the Zoe ecosystem. And as you can see, in this architecture, we have these microservices. And the microservices are your web services that is installed in your mainframe. So if you have let's say ZSMF for your provisioning tools, so you're installed it in your mainframe, and there are microservices there are APIs available, and it's in here. If you have ZOS Connect for your Kix web services, if maybe you have DB2 web services, and maybe you have Endeavor web services, all of it is installed in mainframe, and it's gonna be here. And then Zoe provides an API mediation layer. And the API mediation layer will house all of these web services so that you have one portal or one security wherein everything is stored there, is discovered there. And you're going to go through API mediation layer so that you will just have one base URL. And and connecting to this API mediation layer are these components. So we have the Zoe app framework, which is the web browser GUI. So it's like similar to a Windows um, interface wherein you can access your JES, you can access your MVS, you can have your 3270 terminal and editor, and you can actually extend this, and it will connect to API mediation layer to your microservices and then back. There's this Zoe mobile application as well, which is an incubator project, and it is primarily used for production support. So, like, for example, you're out and somebody called you like, there's an event in production, and all you have to do is get out your phone, log into the system, check the job. If you need to edit the job, resubmit it, and then you're done. And also, this one connects to API mediation layer, fires those APIs, those microservices that you have, and then back to your mobile app. And then you have this Zoe Explorer, which is the code editor extension. And in here, it allows you, it's similar to a 3270 screen, that it allows you to access your datasets, your USS, and your jobs pool. So you have a different editor, like a modern editor where um, you have different extensions that you can use for your highlighting and for your automation and stuff. So this is something that I really like as well. So in here, it is using side by side with Zoe CLI, but it's not dependent on Zoe CLI. You can use Zoe CLI with it, and Zoe CLI is your command line interface that can be used for automation. Like if you're using Jenkins or gulp, you can use these commands to automatically fire commands that will go to mainframe and get back to you. So under the Zoe Explorer and the Zoe CLI is what you call the Zoe Client SDK. And these are NPM packages where they are sharing one code base. And so they are firing the same API. So you have one code base and one APIs for them. And then you can just, write once, run anywhere situation. And in here, it's similar to this one. They're firing API mediation layer, they're using the base URL found in the API mediation layer and then going to your microservices. So these are modern interfaces that you can now use while integrating with mainframe. And for me, that is very interesting because you get to have a different perspective or a different set of toolset that you can use to communicate with mainframe. And as well as you can create this cross-platform integration with other technologies that are found today and make your mainframe experience or your development in mainframe or create your mainframe solution even better. So today, I will stop talking because I keep on talking and I want to show you a demo and we're going to talk about the COBOL challenge that I have, this is very easy. This is just going to display the COVID-19 reports. So the goal for this project is to retrieve the COVID-19 JSON file from this website, and then we will convert that JSON file to CSV file. And then after that, we will upload it to mainframe. And then we're going to write a COBOL program to generate the report for this file, or maybe just display the results. So for before, what I'm going to do, if I'm well, since I'm pure mainframer before, what I'm going to do is that I will start coding using the 3270. I would open my terminal, which would look like this. I will create my datasets. I will write my program. I will get the file, that API. I will download it and then use maybe an online converter for JSON to CSV, upload it using FTP, and then I will run my GCL. So today, those steps, I will do the same steps, but I will show you how I will do it using modern toolsets. In VS Code for my COBOL program. So let's start off with these extensions. So I'm going to show you all of the extensions that we have. So in VS Code, you are able to install different kinds of extensions. If you want to use, I don't know, like different highlighting. So for example, I have this one. This is COBOL by Bitlang. And this extension is a very powerful extension actually. And it allows you to have this syntax highlighting. There's this IntelliSense example and other stuff. There's this also outline where it outlines your program or the procedures that you have. It has this, he would know everything basically. So you can just click on it and then you're gonna go there immediately. And I also have this COBOL language support wherein it allows you to have this syntax checking and as well as fetching your copybooks. I have this COBOL themes pack because I wanted to have this ISPF inspired programming just for fun. I also have the highlighting for IBM GCL. I have different kinds of extensions that I wanted to use. And most importantly, I have Zowe Explorer extension, wherein this allows me to communicate with datasets, USS, and jobs. So let's start. So this is the Zowe Explorer extension. And I have here my profile. So, or this is my connection details. And this contains the base URL that I have for ZSMF and as well as my credentials. So what I'm going to do now is to search for my dataset. So this is my dataset, dataset name, my user ID as an HLQ1, and then asterisk or wildcard. So what happens is that it fired an API to list all of my datasets. So under my ID, it says here I have my COBOL file, I have my copybook file, I have my GCL, and other stuff. So what I could do is I am going to expand this one, this PDS, and it will show all of the members that I have. Then I want to create a new member. So I'm going to right click, create new member. CBL004, press enter. And again, it fires an API to mainframe to create to create that member, and then it will fetch that and then update my tree here, my datasets here. So I'm gonna click this one, and see here, it's not. It's already downloaded in my temp COBOL, and then this is the file. So I can type identification division, and then you're gonna see it will autocomplete for me. I have those kinds of extensions. So I have here, it will say that, oh, you can use this template for mainframe, or you can use this template for X program, provide it for you, or just if you want just the identification division, that's fine as well. If you want an input output with sequential file, there's also something like this. So it's up to you. So what I'm going to do is to use this template, this cover template. So I can show it to you. Then it will automatically provide the name, but I don't want this name, so I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna name it like this. I'm gonna put my name, Jelly. Then I could, I don't need this things. I could delete this. I delete that one. I could delete this one as well. And then I don't want this, or I just want stop run whatsoever. I don't linkage as well. So now I have basically the whole structure of my COBOL program, and I don't have to type anything. Everything is given to me. So, and what I also like this one. So, for example, I mistype, and it says here, there's a syntax error. It should be division rather than divisions. I could delete that one. Or if I miss a period, there's just error that hey, you need dot. You're forgetting one dot. So I could update that one and then put dot in. And for example, I wanted to create something like do WS instat do dish data. And there's an error here, like, hey, there's an invalid definition. So it means that WS instat is not found. So what I could do is put here percentage then immediately it's already okay. It's the same with this one. So there's this checking in my VS code. And if I highlight this, I could press control and then there's this two definitions or this definition. And it will say it's called here. It's the definition is picx and you're calling it in this program. Or I could actually create add my copybook. So let's say I have my copybooks here. So if I have for instance, then if I highlight this one and then um, references, it will show me, hey, this file is also um, used in constant copybook. So you can just use the copybook and can be found here, it can be found here. So there are references that you can check and it's easier for me to know where can I find this file, who is accessing this file. So I can remove this and then still copy constant will be there. And it's not in error because if I hover here, it knows that hey, there's a copybook here. If you click this one, I can open it as well. But I was able to do this because I already fetched this copybook. So if let's say I have a new copybook called Constant one, there's an error that the copybook is not found. And if I click quick fix, it will fetch this copybook for me immediately. And that's one feature of that language that I've shown you earlier. I don't have other copybooks that is not available. So it's already downloaded. So for me, these are simple things, These are simple things that can help you in your development. And you don't notice it, but it's a really it's a relief. It brings a great relief that you don't have to think about these things and it will auto complete for you and you can just control click on it. You don't have to check or you don't have to really investigate as to where you can find those copybooks or where you can reference this variable. It it provides help for you. And for me that's really a big thing. It's very useful and I like that experience. I mean, I could do all of this in 3270 and it will be the same, but still, this development experience, this modern mainframe experience, helps me in becoming a better developer. And so, all right, so I'm done with that. I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna go now to the COBOL challenge, and then I'm gonna show you how I did it. And I pre-recorded a video for this one, and because I don't want any problems to arise, but it will be the same. I'm still showing you my VS Code. So in here, as I've been showing, so to so before I'm gonna let's circle back to what we needed to do. So the COVID-19 reports, the steps that we need to do is to retrieve the JSON file from this link and then um, convert the JSON to CSV. So that is the first two steps that we are going to do. So to be able to do that, I created this parse.typescript program. And it's a simple TypeScript program. What it does is that it calls this link, this summary, COVID-19 summary, and then it processes the response, this res. It dissects this response and then converts it to CSV. After that conversion, it will write the file to build folder countries.txt. So to be able to do that, so I wrote this and then now that I have this simple program or this program, what I want to do, I don't want to just execute it. I can just execute it via command, but I wanted to be more innovative. So what I did, I created a package.json and I have this npm script. So I installed an extension called npm, and npm scripts allows me to fire commands. So I created package.json, and under scripts, I created this parse. And here I'm calling the node command and then executing parse.ts. That's that simple command. And then if I write it here, if I save it, it will open up in this tree called npm scripts, and it will be here. So what I can do now is just click this one. If I click run right now, it will automatically fire this one, and it will automatically call this parse. Now, as you can see in this terminal, I am retrieving all the information or the JSON file that I have, and then you can see there's this Kuwait, this Hungary, and then there's information, and then it's supposed to be converted now to CSV and opened here, written here in this build folder, and yes, it is here. So I have this countries txt in CSV format, and it's just in a one click of script, and that's pretty cool for me. And then after that one, what I have to do next is to upload it to mainframe. Our next step is to upload it to mainframe. But before I will upload it, I need a physical sequential. So I am going to use Zowe CLI commands to fire this this script. So I'm showing that I will fire Zowe files, create physical sequential, and then after that I will upload the data, and I will use file to dataset. So from countries.txt, I will transfer it to my physical sequential that I have created earlier. Similar to what I have done, I will click this run, ching, and then after that, it will automatically create my dataset. It will fire the command and then it says dataset created successfully. We will check. So I will click on the Zowe, explore the extension, and then I will refresh this list. And what happens is that it fires another API, the ZSMF API, and then it will update the list. So now here you go. You can see that it was created. And then so I will go back to my scripts, and then I will fire this upload data. So again, click this one, and then automatically it will fire the Zowe CLI command, and it will upload my file countries.txt to my dataset. And now it's uploaded, so we can check it out. So there we go. So it is uploaded now. You can see that it is now in CSV format as well. So we're almost done, and all we have to do is to submit the COBOL program. So I have already written the COBOL program, and it's a simple program. I will select an input file, and I went the easy route. I just displayed the data. So I unstring it and then displayed it. So that's fairly easy. And then I'm going to go to my GCL and then run that. So this is my GCL. So in this GCL, what I'm doing is I'm compiling it using this proc, putting it in this load library, and then I'm executing it using config.global input file. So to submit this GCL, all I have to do is to go to this name, to the GCL name, right click, and then I will click submit job. If I click this one, automatically it again fires the API, and then it shows you here, I have a job submitted, and then this number. I could click this one. If I click this one, it will automatically opens up in my jobs tree and then highlights the job for me. And it says here that, hey, this is still active. Please wait for a while. So I can click on it again. And then again, it will fetch new information. And now it ended up with 004. I can check it out. I will open this up. And then here, these are all the school information. I have the message log here. I can check what is the 004. So I can see that it ended up 04 in my compilation. And my link edit is 0, and then the run is 0. And then now I can click on my sysout, which is the run sysout. And again, it will fetch out the information from mainframe, and then it will display it here in my editor. And then there we go. It is now displayed. It was unstringed, and it was displayed in my editor. So with this example, actually, for me, it's really easy to do it. Like file transfer is easier. All you have to do is just, fire one command and everything is okay. And you were able to rerun your job, click on it, just clicking and stuff. And even when you're writing your COBOL program, if you want to, let's say, paste something, all you have to do is use your keyboard shortcut. And these are simple stuff, but it makes a lot of difference. And yes, I could do it in 3270, but using this mainframe or this modern interfaces makes a lot of difference for me. And it really helps a lot. It doesn't stop there. I just showed you one short example, one small example. And then there's more that you can do it. This modern interfaces expands your imagination and you can do more. So for example, I showed you three scripts, one executing parsing, allocating your dataset and then uploading it to mainframe. But basically, what we could do is to create multiple scripts. And what I'm showing right now is that I have one build script, one click build. And if I click this COBOL challenge run, all it does is that you run your parsing where you are getting the JSON file and then converting it to CSV. It uploads the data or allocates your data and then uploads it into mainframe. And then afterward, I could use the job submit command. It already submits the GCL that you have. And then if you put the directory output, it will also download that output into your PC. And then you can see it. You can submit it or send it to others like the results. But, this is like one build, one click build that I have. And for me, that is something like really cool. And you can go on even further and create your own circle, your automation, your continuous integration. You can build it in Jenkins, you can build it in anywhere you want. Me, I build it in Circle CI because it's a free platform. And all I have to do is that to create the environment, I installed Zoe in that environment. And then I run the same script. I just executed all the scripts that I have. And this is in a containerized environment. It's using Docker. So you don't have to, you don't, it's in a cloud. And for me, it's very interesting that you can integrate the Circle CI to your mainframe um, environment. And then you can do more. If you want to do more, you can create a mobile application, you can create a web application. And in here, I'm showing you the functionalities of the mobile app where I am checking out all of my jobs. I'm able to view this pool. I'm able to delete jobs, cancel it, submit it. And all of these are modern interfaces that helps you um, communicate with mainframe, make it easier for your development, for your support, for everything that you're doing in mainframe. And I think this is a very, very powerful tool. So to summarize, for me, as an experienced mainframer, you have the same COBOL experience, you have the same GCL development experience that you are familiar with, but you are just incorporating modern tool sets in your coding, and gives you this relief, this easier way of developing things. And if you are a new mainframer, you can use the modern technology that you are familiar with, and then you can incorporate mainframe with it. So what I learned from this is that we are all learners. Whether you are an experienced mainframer or a new mainframer, we are all learners, and we have all the knowledge, or all of us have a unique knowledge, a unique experience that we can share with one another. I can share to you all of my experience about mainframe or about pure mainframe background. And then there's this new developer who can share with me his or her front end experience, and then we can coordinate with each other. We can work together so that we can have a bigger solution, a wider solution, and make a mainframe solution that's just really good, that it's a cross-platform solution that can help your company into getting better, or into being to having a better architecture and stuff. So that's really good for me. And I just want to emphasize that everything that I have shown in this demo is either open source product or it is free to download. So you can now go for it and just try it. And that will be my next steps. So after this call, I encourage you to please try this out. be a witness. Try out this modern mainframe experience that I've been talking about. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to do it. But if you do like it, share it. Share what you've learned. Share what you've experienced with others. Help them to understand what it is, how it helped you, how what you think about it. So for me, you know, sharing is really caring. So just try it out and share. And then if you want to contribute your code, if you have ideas on how to make it better, check out our GitHub repositories. You can contribute code, or you can join our Slack communities. You can contribute your knowledge. You can contribute your experiences. Even asking is contributing. So just ask questions. And honestly, this Zoe project, this Open Mainframe project, or this modern interface that I've showed you, this is open source and this is owned by the mainframe community. And we can help mold this project and make it into something really good. And I encourage you to just do that, to to join the community, talk about it, and just help mold where this project should be directed. I think mainframe is a powerful tool, and I think that with us helping each other, with us working together, we can make mainframe even more powerful. We can make a better future for mainframe. So for me, I added these references and um, links in here. If you want to check it out, please do so. I encourage you to do so. And I hope this could help. And I hope this webcast helped you in understanding what the modern mainframe movement is and how it could help in COBOL today, in your mainframe experience today. And I hope you learned something today. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. And see you again next time. Stay safe. Bye.